Hi everyone, Coach Eli here, and welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, if you get value out of this video, and I'm sure you will, especially if you're a guy and you're trying to figure out how to navigate this crazy modern world we all live in, I know you're going to get tremendous value. Even for you ladies, you can learn from this as well. So if you get value from this video, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell and then selecting all notifications so you won't miss anything down the road, because I am truly here to help as many men and women as possible get the best possible grips on their lives, so that way you can all truly accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. With that being said, I wanted to create this two-part video that's going to be released the weekend of December 18th and 19th, 2021. But if you're coming across this video down the road, later on in 2022 and beyond, this is going to have tremendous evergreen value for quite some time, because I've been dealing with this myself personally for the last 5 years out here on YouTube. And today I'm going to be discussing the Manosphere. You've all heard the Manosphere, or of the Manosphere, right? And you've all probably heard of MGTOW by now. The Manosphere is like a branch off from a community that was started about maybe 15, 20 years ago, called MGTOW, which stands for Men Going Their Own Way. And the purpose of MGTOW was never to bash women or to attack women in any way, shape, or form. It was created to make men aware of, the modern world. And because of the fact that women are now liberated and, they're independent, they are working their own jobs, they have, their own homes, their own cars, they have the same equal rights that once only men had. Because of that, it's changed the dynamics, and now there are, no-fault divorce laws in most states here in the U.S. where I live, and in other countries, there are no-fault divorce laws in their provinces, right? And what that means is basically, if you're a man or even a woman, it happens to the woman in some cases, but if you're the breadwinner in your household, and primarily the breadwinners are still men in the modern world, and you go through a divorce, your other half, in this case the lady, will get half the marital assets that were accrued during the marriage. And it doesn't matter if she cheats on you with 100 guys, she'll still get half the marital assets. That's what no-fault divorce means. Also, child custody cases have, more so favored women, and good men have been, paying the price of losing their kids or getting very minimal custodial rights. So that's what the purpose of MGTOW was created for, was just to raise awareness to men regarding the rising, modern, empowered woman, that stems from, feminism. I'm not here criticizing, feminism. I firmly believe that women should have always had equal rights. And it's great that women have equal rights nowadays. But because of this sudden shift, with women, being empowered in ways like they never have before, it has changed the dynamics of relationships between men and women. And now what's been happening is, women are so much stronger. In many cases, they're making more money than men. They're actually even more so behaving like men. A lot of women nowadays are exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy. And because our young men are not being raised properly nowadays to be good, strong men, these men are more so behaving like women and exuding more feminine energy. And it just leaves it open for that guy to be taken advantage by a stronger, more empowered woman that understands the way the system works nowadays, right? And so that was the purpose of MGTOW. So like I said, it's going to be a two-part series. This first video will be released on Saturday, December 18th, and then part 2 the next day, Sunday, December 19th, 2021. But again, this will have tremendous value down the road, regardless of where you encounter it. I'm going to share a lot of thoughts here today regarding what I feel many content creators are doing out here on YouTube. Many male content creators are doing out here on YouTube that are misguiding and misleading and using innocent young men to grow their channels, to build their brands, to sell these very unnecessary, premium packages, right? And the fact alone that you go and watch their live streams and videos, you're giving them monetized playbacks, they're getting ad revenue from you. You guys are probably sending them a lot of super chats to try to get attention, right? Okay. I'm going to raise awareness here and share with you guys and gals too, but this is more so for the guys, what is really going on here and what I feel and what I will suggest that you do to rise above this and make something out of yourself and don't get caught up in this vortex of endless nonsensical drama. Now, I will also say this. I know this is going to trigger the Manosphere. Why is it going to trigger the Manosphere? Because in my opinion, with no disrespect, the majority of the men, I'm not going to say all, but the majority of the men in the Manosphere are very, very weak men that are not emotionally strong. Maybe they're emotionally unstable. Maybe they're mentally unstable. Okay. These are men that lack self-worth and self-love. These are men that are very insecure. They're also very immature. And I'm not just talking about, the very young men under 18. I'm talking about grown-ass adults once they reach 18, 19, throughout their 20s. And even into their 30s and 40s, we're seeing men that are behaving in this way, right? So I know this video is going to trigger you guys. The reason why it's going to trigger you guys, and this is what you're going to say before I tell you why it's going to trigger you, okay? This is what you're going to say. You're going to say, oh, Eli, you're a beta CUCK. Eli, you're an incel. Eli, you're, this, you're that. You're going to call me every single name in the book. I already expect it. I've been hearing that for the last 5 years. So I expect that to continue happening. But when you call me those names, you're doing that because you're looking at me. I'm a 48-year-old grown-ass man. For 48 years old, I think I look pretty damn good for my age. I take good care of myself. I have good skin, okay? I have a nicely trimmed beard, okay? I'm pretty fit, and I have a lot of energy, right? And the reason why you're going to come at me is because you perceive me, humbly speaking, you perceive me to be better than you, and you feel the need to kick me down to your level just so you can make your pathetic, miserable life feel better, right? Okay? Now, again, I'm not here to attack or criticize you folks, but I got to speak of the truth so you guys really understand what's going on here. That's exactly what's going on. I want you guys, instead of coming at guys like me, I want you to end up being like me or better than me. And if you guys just hear me out completely here on what I'm going to say, this will completely change your life if you start taking the right steps to rise above all this BS and crap that's been presented to you here through the Manosphere. And formerly it was done through MGTOW content creators. The MGTOW label has been kind of blacklisted by YouTube. But let's get into the first part here, okay? And then I'm going to get into some current things that are happening with some of these Manosphere creators, especially a channel called Fresh and Fit that's been top news in the Manosphere arena. I'm gonna share my thoughts about the two guys that run that channel, Myron and Fresh. And what they've been doing lately to copyright strike people for no reason. There's a lot of scrutiny going on with that. I'm going to share with you folks the real truth, why they're doing that, and how other Manosphere creators are responding to it, and why they're responding to it. Okay, it's one big drama shit show. So stick around for that part. But before we get to all of that, okay, let's talk about the Manosphere and my experiences. In what I've dealt with for the last 5 years. 5 years I've been dealing with this on YouTube. So my story starts off like this, and I've kind of shared this before in the past. So for people that have been a part of my channel for a while, you already kind of know this. But it doesn't matter because I'm trying to, reach a new audience. The people that know my story are people from this Manosphere that I used to be a part of and haven't been a part of for a while and don't ever want to be a part of again. But these people still kind of troll me because, again, they perceive me to be better than them. And when I speak of the truth and call them out on what they're doing, they keep trying to attack me, to kick me down, to try to get my channel shut down, etc. Just so that way they can kick me down to their level and they can feel better. And then they can have more drama to talk about on their pathetic Manosphere channels, right? So this all started about 5 years ago on a former channel I used to run. And I was also starting my coaching business at that point, which I'm still running to this day on this channel here. I was creating pre-recorded videos for the first 6 months. And if you folks have followed some other great coaches out here, such as Coach Corey Wayne, I pretty much was following his style. I was putting out daily videos Monday through Friday, every single week, very consistent, right? I did that for 6 months, and what ended up happening was after 6 months, I wasn't really getting that much traction. I was getting maybe 30, 40, 50 views per video, sometimes 10 or 20. And I really wanted to expand my horizons. So one of my subscribers back then, and I cannot remember what his name was, he actually made me aware of the MGTOW community, and he told me that you seem to be a purple pill, version of MGTOW. So there are 3 pills in MGTOW. Most of you that have been a part of this for a while in the Manosphere know what I'm talking about. There's the blue pill, which is the simp, which stands for sucker, idolizing, mediocre, let's just say punani, right? To be nice about it. These are guys that put women on a pedestal. They validate women on the internet. When they go on dates with women, they just suck up to them, kiss their ass, etc. Thinking that that's the way the woman is going to, fall in love with them, right? When in essence, because women are more empowered nowadays, women take advantage of these guys when they behave that way. So these are guys that are just not aware. And these are the guys that are primarily involved in the Manosphere. The Manosphere, in my opinion, is filled primarily with blue pill simps. Bottom line, blue pill simps. And even if you guys aren't simps, you're blue pillars because you lack emotional self-control and you guys, just behave very immaturely and very insecurely, and you project that all over YouTube on your pathetic Manosphere drama channels, right? And there's a reason why these guys do it. We'll get to that in just a little bit, right? I ended up doing a search for a purple pill channel. And, I was looking to find someone that was in alignment with my views of how I fit into MGTOW. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's a red pill, which are guys that are very well aware of modern day female nature. They understand that the stove is hot. They understand modern day divorce laws and child custody laws. They understand how some women take advantage of men nowadays. These guys are guys that have also, the red pillars primarily for the most part, have decided that because the stove is too hot, they will not date or marry any woman At the very most, they'll just have one night stands with women or something casual, right? That's what the red pillars are, but they're very well aware that the stove is hot. In addition, in my opinion, I think the red pillars are very angry and bitter men that are just unhappy that their relationship or marriage didn't work. And these are guys that also don't take ownership for anything. These are guys that blame the woman for everything. And, they don't realize that part of the reason why their wife divorced them and took half their marital assets is because the guy stopped, dating and courting his wife in the same ways that he was doing it before, they got married, which is why she wanted to marry him, right? A lot of these guys, they're working hard, they're working long hours, and they, they get married and they expect their wife to just understand that, hey, baby, I'm working 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, and I don't have time to romance you and take you out on dates and stuff like that. Well, then why are you married? You have to balance in your work and your personal life. I've talked about that many times here on my channel. A lot of these guys, they got so consumed with their work and doing whatever they had to do to provide financially for their family. So they stopped dating and courting their wife. And then their wife gets bored. She's a housewife. She's taking care of the kids. And, she feels like, he doesn't care about her anymore, right? And then sometimes the women will cheat because they're missing that intimacy that they're no longer getting from their husband because he's working all day, 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, and then is too tired to come home and have sex with his wife. I mean, why are you going to marry someone that you don't want to spend time with, be intimate with, go on dates with still? Why would you marry someone like that, right? Okay? And a lot of these guys just became very, very selfish, and that's why they ended up getting a divorce. But they're blaming the woman for everything when the truth of the matter is it's their fault for stopping to date and court their wife throughout the marriage. You got to balance it in. So that's a red pillar right there, right? And a lot of these red pillars have ended up becoming, incels, which stands for involuntary celibates. They've just, become simps. Some of them have become simps and they've tried to get women, but they can't get women because they have a crappy attitude. And then they just say, screw it, I'm not going to date women anymore. And I'm just going to come out here on YouTube and the internet and talk smack about women, when the truth of the matter is, it's their fault. They're showing up in a horrible way. They stop taking care of themselves. Maybe they gained some weight, right? And these are also guys that, will criticize women for being overweight and this and that. Or they'll criticize, attractive women for not giving them a chance when they're not taking care of themselves, right? These are very hypocritical, angry, and bitter men. And a lot of these guys are coming out here on YouTube now on these Manosphere channels, and they're basically just, sharing their frustrations, projecting their insecurities onto other men that are actually out here to try to figure out the right way to deal with women, but they're getting flooded with these guys. So that's the red pillar there. Okay, the purple pillar, which is where I am at, I'm no longer a part of MGTOW. I never really was. And I don't even say, I'm purple pill anymore, even though technically, if I had to rate myself on this fictitious pill system of MGTOW, I am purple pill. It's like a hybrid of the blue pill and the red pill. I'm not a guy that overly puts a woman on a pedestal. I don't do that. I don't suck up to a woman. I'm not a simp. I'm not an incel. But I'm also not an angry and bitter person that has decided to walk off the plantation and never give another woman a chance for a relationship or potential marriage. I'm actually currently dating a great woman right now for 3 months, and it's been going great, and I'm happy about that, okay? So the purple pillar is someone that understands the stove is hot, understands the red pill, also still has, a few blue pill traits. There's nothing wrong with doing nice things for your woman at times, as long as she's reciprocating and as long as you don't overdo it. I don't have to get into it in this video here. But don't overdo it, yet don't underdo it. So that's the purple pill is like a right in the middle. It's basically, a guy that, is still interested in dating a woman, enjoys the company of a woman, and still potentially may want to, get married and have a family. And so they move forward. They proceed with the caution and awareness of the red pill, and that's that. Okay. So I was out there looking for a purple pill content creator to connect with. And I found one channel, and I'm not going to mention what the channel is because this is somebody that I haven't talked about him in a while, and I'm not here to be critical to him or anything. I'm not here to attack anybody. I'm just sharing with you folks what happened. I'm going to share what happened with him. This guy was running a great purple pill channel. He was creating great content that I enjoyed, and I reached out to him. And, I sent him an email and I wanted to talk with him for collaboration purposes because his message was very similar to mine. And when I talked with this guy, this was 5 years ago. I was 43. And how old was he? He was, let me see here. He was in his, I think he was 30. Yeah, he was 30 or 31 at that point. I think he's 35 or 36 now. So this guy is a millennial, but I didn't even look at him in that way. I liked his content and I wanted to work with him. We got on the phone and we were talking, and he basically said, well, I'm just curious, what do you want? What do you want to get out of this? I said, dude, I want to collaborate. You have great content. Maybe we do some videos together. I'm also thinking about starting to live stream out here on YouTube. And because you have similar content and I really, like many of your views are in alignment with mine, I'd love to collaborate with you, But he was very, very, how do I say this? He was very, very on edge. He was very, very guarded. And I just started to notice some insecurities. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy's a bit younger. He's 30, 31 years old. He's a millennial. No disrespect, but there's a lot of truth to the stigma. But I'm not here to be disrespectful to anyone, including millennials. We ended up talking for a bit, and he was telling me that, Eli, I'm just not getting the views I used to get. He was a monetized channel, and at that point was when YouTube started the yellow icon that we know nowadays as the demonetization icon, where you get very little or no ad revenue. Now it says limited or no ads when you get the yellow icon, right? Before everything was green, he was making good money, but because YouTube started cracking down on certain types of content, including this hateful content against women and MGTOW content. A lot of these creators started losing their revenue. So this guy was about to shut down his channel and no longer do YouTube. And I told him, don't do that, dude. You have a great channel. Give me a chance to help you out. I don't want any of your money. I'm willing to help you out free of charge, right? Okay. So he said he would think about it, right? So what happens when you have a conversation like that? The guy went and checked out my channel, and I also I went and searched for some other channels, and I found this other channel that was doing live streams and bringing people on a panel. And I ended up going on this guy's panel one night. This guy was from Canada, and I ended up promoting this guy on my channel. I ended up, doing a video and making people aware of him. And this other guy, this, early 30s millennial guy that was running this purple pill channel, okay, that I was trying to collaborate with, he actually went over to this guy's channel and started going on his live stream panels. And this, early 30s purple pill content creator met some great people while being on those live stream panels. And he had never live streamed before. So he decided to start live streaming. I started live streaming, trying to, make this story as short as possible. So we all started live streaming. And, at that point, I was dating a woman back then that was on my channel. And basically, we created, videos on how to help men and women better attract each other, how to find a great dating partner. We also talked about some business topics every now and then, but I had a wonderful lady at that point. We had great camera presence, and, people were really, starting to watch our videos. We were starting to get some great traction, right? Well, what ended up happening at that point is a couple other people from this MGTOW community, started doing reaction videos to my content, and they were using every single one of my videos. If I did a 30-minute video or an hour live stream, they would, do a response or reaction video to the entire video or stream. And it started to bother me because the audience I was building, due to all this work I did to bring these people together, especially this 30-year-old guy that's about to just shut his channel down, right? The audience that I had built up, these people, started to steal my audience, because what they ended up doing is what a lot of these content creators, these Manosphere content creators do nowadays. They started creating drama content. They started shit talking content creators like myself that are non-drama centric and have a positive message. And a lot of these creators, all of them. Now, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just sharing with you folks. A lot of these creators, most of them were and still are very unattractive men that are overweight, and they just don't take care of themselves. They're overweight. They're uneducated. They have crappy social skills. But what they would focus on is, I guess, what apparently they're good at: creating drama and using me, the positive, good-looking, outgoing, energetic person that's truly out here to help people with positivity. They were using me and creating content off of me and calling me CUCK. If you don't know what a CUCK is, it's basically a man that watches his woman have intimacy with other women. I'm not a CUCK, but they called me CUCK because I call myself Coach Eli. They called me CUCK Eli, right? Because it kind of flows, right? And for a while, because I didn't know YouTube that well back then, and I didn't even know what trolls were 5 years ago, and I didn't even know what the drama aspect of YouTube. I just thought it was a place to create great content to help people that want your help, right? I kept feeding into it, and the more and more I would feed into it, the more and more they would create content on me and sell it to their audience. Actually, they stole my audience that I create. And they did crazy things to pin and pit my audience against me. And these guys, they've been doing this for so long, and they've had it done to them on YouTube in the past, that they learned how to, flip things around that a positive creator is doing and make that positive creator like me look bad, and then take my audience and talk smack about me on their channels. And my audience that used to be a part of mine that became part of theirs, they were loving that. They were loving the entertainment aspect of it, right? Okay. And so another thing that these creators were doing, like I said, they were doing live reaction videos and sometimes pre-recorded reaction videos using my entire, hour-long live streams or 30-minute pre-recorded videos. They would dissect the whole thing and they would say it's fair use. I'm all for fair use. But fair use allows you to use small excerpts, okay, to criticize and make commentary on someone else's work, as long as it's transformative in nature. What fair use does not allow you to do is use someone's entire hour video and play the whole thing and dissect the whole thing, right? Why? Because if they can watch the entire video on the person's channel that's doing fair use or fair use commentary, there's no need to come to my channel to watch it or watch the rest of it. If someone does a reaction video and they use, 3 to 5% of the content, I think that's more than fair right there. Okay. And then at that point, hey, if people want to see the remainder of the content, they can go to the original creator. If you try to use the entire piece of content 100% and say it's fair use because I'm making commentary along the way, no, it's not. Fair use allows you to use small excerpts to transform the content for, commentary and criticism purposes, right? Okay, these guys were playing a game, and basically, there's a whole point to this. Because these creators initially were trying to create real content. And because they're real content, such as this 30-year-old's purple pill content, and there's another guy that was dissecting all of my videos, 100% of them, right? Okay. Because their actual content was not getting any traction, they basically turned themselves into drama shit show channels. And they basically, in essence, the best way to put this is they're trying to, and still to this day, they're trying to recreate like the Jerry Springer show on YouTube, right? And I wanted nothing to do with that. So I kept on trying to part ways for years, and they kept coming at me. Let me give you the short story. These people, okay, they ended up, I stopped feeding into them. And they were making so much money off of me when I was feeding into them that when I stopped feeding into them, they kept trying anything and everything to get me to feed back into them so they can keep on making more money at my expense. When I didn't feed into them, they started taking it into real life. These people stalked me while I was doing live streams out in public. These people harassed my family, my mother, my brother. They harassed my professional network on Facebook and LinkedIn. These people doxed my family and doxed me and doxed a lot of people I care for. They came at my girlfriend, her kids. These people were ruthless and relentless. Why? Because I stopped feeding into them because of the fact that I realized what their game was. I realized that, hey, they needed me to go back and forth with them so that way they could have something to sell to their audience, because I'm a better person than they are, no disrespect. I'm a better looking guy than they are. I have a better attitude than they are. They perceive me to be better than them. And because, they don't work on themselves to become a better version of themselves like I have become, and create more positive content that would get traction, they just kept on coming at me. And that's what happened, right? So that's, and to make a long story short during this first part, and I'm going to wrap up this first part here, and then in the second part, I'm going to get into, the video you're going to see tomorrow, or part 2. You're going to hear me talking about what's going on with these current Manosphere creators, the more popular ones, especially the Fresh and Fit channel with Myron and Fresh, and how I feel and many other creators feel they're abusing the copyright system, and I'm going to explain why they're doing it. And a lot of people don't understand why they're doing it, but there is a reason, and it'll all make sense to you. I'm also going to share, hey, how are these channels really benefiting you guys out there that are desperately seeking information on how to become a better and stronger and more positive man? I'm going to share a lot more about that in part 2 because let me tell you guys, if you continue to feed into drama and support drama-centric channels, if you continue to, be a part of, other, channels run by these Manosphere creators that are angry and bitter, it's going to make you angry and bitter, and there's not going to be a woman on the planet that's going to be attracted to you. And a lot of these guys say, well, all women suck nowadays. That's what these Manosphere guys are saying, right? No, not all women suck. Do some women suck? Sure. Do some men suck? Sure. I think you guys suck. I think you guys that continue to support these Manosphere channels that are drama-centric and are talking smack about women all day, every day, that's just showing, how you are. So I want to help you turn that around, become a more positive person, and rise above this drama so you can actually have what you want and actually start dating and possibly even marrying a good woman, because there are good women out there, no matter what you guys say and what these other Manosphere creators say. But you're not going to attract them having this shit attitude that these Manosphere creators are ingraining, instilling in your brain, right? So I'll share more about that tomorrow, okay? As far as, where I'm at today, I ran my former channel. My ex broke up with me primarily because of what was happening on YouTube. There were some other things too. I don't need to get into it, but I'm just kind of sharing with you what I've experienced and what you guys, are going to experience if you continue associating yourselves with these Manosphere content creators, especially if you start creating content and you go back and forth with them. Okay, I'm telling you, this is what you're going to experience, and I'm trying to make you aware of this so you can rise above it before it happens to you. But yeah, a little over 3 years ago, I shut down my former channel after my ex broke off with me. I took 3 months off. I went to another platform. I was creating content on Facebook and other platforms. And then 3 months later, I started this channel that I've been running now for 3 years. When I came back, this same drama group of people, they started attacking me. They started to thumb down my videos again. They started to call me CUCK, incel, beta male. They've called me every single name in the book, right? You listen, guys, I want you to do me a favor. Okay, and I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm a humble person, but I am confident. I have self-confidence. I do feel I look good for my age. Look at myself. I'm fit. I'm decent looking for 48. Look at myself and then look at pictures or videos of these content creators that are coming at me. Look at what they look like, how out of shape they are, how horrible they dress. I dress very nice for most occasions. I'm a little dressed down now, but I'm just a casual look. I have a nice Kangol hat on. I've got a nice stretch shirt. I'm just here kicking back. It's the weekend, right? Okay. So, look at them and then look at me. I'm not saying this to show off or say I'm any better than them, but you guys should be able to put 2 and 2 together. Why would these people call me incel or beta male or whatever when they look horrible and I look good, right? And they're whining and complaining like little female dogs, and I'm here trying to create positivity and keeping it positive myself, right? Think about that. When you guys are associating with creators like this, right? And if you think it's actually a good thing and funny that these guys are attacking guys like me that are living a good life and have a good attitude and look good, if you guys are supporting those creators and you're feeding into that, then you are that. And that's the reason why you will never get a good woman and you're going to end up being like them and being angry and bitter, right? But see, most of you guys want to turn that around. Most of you guys want to have a happy life. And in the next part 2, I'm going to share with you folks what you can do, what's really going on with these Manosphere creators. Why are they creating this type of content? Why are they all going back and forth with each other? Why are they all copyright striking each other? I actually but before I wrap this up, this group of people here, this 30-year-old guy, He was playing the copyright game with me. This guy would use my content, right, to make tons of money at my expense, right? And basically, I would do reaction videos to him using his part of his content under fair use, nowhere nearly as much as he used of mine, and he copyright struck me. Now, I did claim fair use and I won the claim, but back then, if you got a copyright takedown notice, you weren't able to, you were on a live stream, if you got a copyright takedown notice or a live stream replay, you couldn't stream for 90 days. And that was pretty harsh. They've changed that rule ever since that point. But I filed for a counter notification. I won. I was only down for 2 weeks. But at that point, I started to realize that these excuse me, these immature and insecure and drama-centric Manosphere content creators, right? They're doing that as a part of their drama to keep you sucked in and to keep getting attention on them because they gave up on creating real content. This one guy, this 30-year-old guy, he's older now. He's still doing the same thing to this day. He went from creating real good content. He went from being a great artist and creating great content that was helpful to creating drama content because, he didn't want to work hard with the new YouTube rules to monetize that. He ended up getting a sponsor that was paying him thousands of dollars to create drama content and to attack people like me and other people like me. And that's the route that he went. That's the route that he went. And so again, I'm sharing this with you guys because these creators are not here to help you. I mean, some of them may somewhat care about you, okay? But the majority of them care about one thing: getting as many views as possible and getting them or getting you to join their premium packages. They're looking to make a living off of this, right? And the longer that they keep you, from finding true love and happiness, the longer these guys can keep you, from getting the help you need to become a better guy, the longer they keep you into this drama-centric world of where you're struggling to figure out, how the modern world is with women, etc., the longer you're going to follow them, the more money they're going to make off of you, right? So they're doing you a disservice. I'm going to share more about that during part 2 coming tomorrow. So with that being said, folks, we're going to wrap up this first part here. I hope you got some great value. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and I'll see you on part 2. Have a good one. Bye-bye.